Business Spotlight, brought to you by Cross Rhythms and Baba Baboon.
I'm Sonya Farrell. This is Business Spotlight in partnership with Cross Rhythms City Radio and Baba Baboon. Joining me in the studio this week, we're very lucky and very privileged this week on Business Spotlight, as we've got Chris Plant, who is the Deputy Chief Exec of Staffordshire Chambers of Commerce. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Sonya. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Well, thank you for coming into the studio. I just want to ask you if you'd mind, just briefly, first of all, just explaining your role at the Chambers and what exactly is the Chambers of Commerce?
Okay, so I'm Deputy Chief Exec, which means I'm honoured to work with, I would say, and collaborate with a fantastic team of people that are all there basically to put Staffordshire on the map from a business point of view. We are a Chamber of Commerce, which I think can be quite divisive in its term. It's quite a scary phrase. People I work with or people that don't work in business think it's a secret society or a gentleman's club, and I'm definitely here to challenge that myth. I think we're the best kept secret going. So Chambers of Commerce have been around hundreds of years, but we're there to support all of the businesses within our county to prosper, facilitate, matchmake, introduce them to opportunities. We run an international trade team, host 200 events a year, run the biggest awards and exhibition in the county every year. And I just think we're challenging the norm. That I think we're a funky, corporate, vibrant, fun place to be. We've got 40 fantastic staff sitting in Stoke, Stafford and the Moorlands, because we cover all the geographical areas. Right. And we're basically there to make a difference. And we like to finish every week on a Friday. And our job satisfaction is I've helped Sonya, I've helped Chris, I've helped anybody make a difference and make their business better, take them to the next level. So right from the beginning, we do pre-start, which is, have you got a business idea but no business plan? Okay. We then do, you've got a concept, you've got an idea, what's next? So we run you through a startup provision, all free, all public funded, help that business write a business plan, understanding basic accounts. And then on your business journey, when you pre-start, start, and then you grow in, we're then introducing you to new markets via our networking events. We've got something called Daily Focus, which is obviously huge for raising a business's profile. It's a 5-day-a-week business bulletin, goes out 7:30 every morning. 16,000 people in Staffordshire read it. There's no better way for a business based in Stoke, Cannock, Lichfield, Burton, wherever you are in Staffs, to raise your profile and connect to 16,000 potential new customers. And then when you've conquered Staffordshire, obviously we're a chamber or one of 52, and there's a chamber in every part of Britain. Right. So then when you've conquered Staffs and you want introductions to Birmingham, Shropshire, Coventry, Warwickshire, we can do that for you too. Okay. And then the last stage is you've conquered Staffordshire, you've conquered regional, you've conquered Britain. We run a fantastic international trade team, and we're the only accredited body that can help goods from the UK go global. So I'd like to think that we can help any business in any phase of your business journey to do better. And then all the stats point that a chamber member is actually statistically more likely to succeed by being a member than compared to somebody that's not. For example, just to go back to startup. So if you're a startup and you try and do it by yourself, unfortunately the UK survival rate's 50% after 3 years. Reach out to us, Tom, Pete and the chamber team, and that goes up to 85%, which is a vast improvement on your chances of survival just by reaching out.
And, you've just mentioned there startups as well. So it sounds like throughout the whole journey, from someone who was, just starting out, and I know what it's like and what it was like to starting out. You don't know where to turn. Nope. And I did join the Chambers of Commerce quite early on. So there you go. But I did. And there is certain things that you can access. There's certain services that you can access as well. But I think the network is something which is really, really important for a business.
Absolutely. It's building your own personal network, your professional network. It's not a direct transaction of I go to an event and I leave with an order. You do have to put the effort in. You do have to raise your own profile. You do have to become known, which you've been excellent at, by the way. You build your own connections.
Stop it.
And then you can go from, it's like a ripple effect. Yeah. You go to one event, may leave with nothing, but you've met 3 people. 3 people meet 3 people. It's that Kevin Bacon multiplier effect of you may get introduced subconsciously just from that journey, but you've got to put the effort in to get anything out.
Yeah,
and
like in anything.
Like in anything in life, we're not there to say join as a member, here's an order. We're saying join as a member, we're here to help. And we will help facilitate, matchmake, do everything that we can to give you the best chance of prospering as possible.
And the other thing I'm just going to mention here as well, we talk about the network, but there's something, I've accessed myself, is actually the lounge down there, the Chambers of Commerce, because you are based in Etruria.
Yes.
Just by Festival Way and everything. And that lounge, again, in itself, is something not just where you can go and work, especially if you're working on yourself in your business, but you can be around other people. So it gets you out and about. But that in itself is another network.
That is probably, in my time in Staffordshire Chambers, probably the best addition with Daily Focus, but the members lounge, and we've done some member surveys, is now in our top 5 member benefits. We're getting on average 40 to 50 people use it every day. Like you say, it's a place for quiet time. It's a place to escape the office. It's become some people's office that have decided that it's more affordable to not have their own premises. But it's also, again, back to networking. You're sitting with 40 people living in your own world. But you can overhear my PR's not very good, Sonya.
Yeah.
And then we can be straight at it. So it is about, again, your profile, you're there, you're connected. It's not forced networking. It is, a coffee lounge. The negative is it costs me £6,000 on coffee because it's free.
Oh, gosh.
Our member benefit is I will cover the cost of coffee for all of our members 5 days a week. So
that's good.
It's at £6,000 at the minute.
Yeah. Well, that's very good.
I encourage more and more people to come.
Yeah, or not drink coffee.
Yeah.
So moving away then, we're talking obviously about business. We've mentioned the Chambers of Commerce. Now, 2024, how have you sort of perceived how business has been in general in Staffordshire from what you've experienced yourself, the conversations you've had? How do you think it's been going? Has it been better in the last 12 months, do you think, with different businesses maybe even coming through or different businesses succeeding? What are your thoughts on it?
I think 2024 has been kind of in the middle. So we've come, but I mean, from a positive, we've come from the uncertainty of Brexit into the uncertainty of COVID, facing what we've now overcome very recently is the uncertainty of our political future.
Yes.
So I'm actually going to say, I think it has been a year of uncertainty, but the cloud and mist is cleared. I think businesses from our quarterly business survey are reporting higher aspiration and higher ambition to grow. I think that 2025, just to jump forward, and I'm sorry it was looking back, but 2025 will be a brilliant year for the businesses of Staffordshire. Our international trade stats are up, so we're exporting more. Our startup stats are up, our survival rates are up. People on the street, and I meet businesses every day, it's why I love this job, are telling me that they're super positive. There are some barriers and frustrations, but I think with the dust settled and all businesses are asking for is stability. So they can plan, they can do a budget for 2025, not knowing, what if with a Brexit? We're in the middle of COVID. What will the government change do? We've kind of put that behind us. I think we've put our positive hats on. I think Staffordshire is a brilliant place. From my point of view, I'm biased, is the best place to start, run, grow a business. And I just think things are looking up. So 2024 hasn't been bad. I think 2025, from everything that I'm hearing and everything that we will do to help, will be brilliant.
And why are you saying then, obviously without being biased, but why would you say Staffordshire is one of the great places to actually either start a business or grow a business? If you've been in business for a few years, why Staffordshire?
I'm 41. I've lived in Staffordshire for 41 years, but this is my 4th chamber. I have moved around chambers in different geographies over the last 15 years. Staffordshire is what I call home. I think we've got brilliant people. I think we've got brilliant road and travel infrastructure. I think we're a super creative county, highly digitally connected. I think we've got we're a hidden gem, so to speak, locked between Birmingham and Manchester. And some people see that as a weakness. I see it as a super positive. We may lose graduates, and we may not get the focus we need because of Second City, Birmingham and Manchester. But with that beautiful green place in the middle where I want to raise my kids, I would start a business when I decide to. And I just think we're in between two huge cities. We could give us potential, best road, rail, air network, centre of the country, and a positive group of people that probably don't shout about how amazing they are themselves, to be honest. We've got some of the best businesses in the world that call Staffordshire their home. And I've only heard of them in the last year because of my job. And your listeners listening to this, I won't name them, but I'm telling you that there are absolutely global businesses operating on our doorstep that don't shout about themselves.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that says it all.
We've had one in particular in here, actually, Business Spotlight, Overclockers.
Amazing.
Amazing business.
Yes.
And the setup that they've got down there as well, which isn't far from the Chambers, actually.
They're a neighbour of ours.
Yeah.
And I had a tour recently and it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
On our doorstep again.
Yeah. And going back to something you mentioned there about graduates. Now, I'm going to just relate to myself again there, just because I went to university locally, and I was fortunate enough at the time to go into journalism locally as well in the area. But do you foresee, if there is more and more businesses coming and more success within Staffordshire, and people do start to shout about themselves a lot more, and we all celebrate each other, could you see how that could actually change the perception of maybe a graduate wanting to go elsewhere and being aware of more of these businesses as well? Could you see how that could actually keep our graduates here in our county?
Absolutely. It's got to be business-led, and one of the main barriers is recruitment of staff, be that graduate or general. High skilled staff in Staffordshire is an issue, and it needs to be business led to say that we are amazing businesses, we are hiring, we are on your doorstep. We've got two fantastic universities in Keele, Staffs Uni, both based here, that people travel from around there's two sides to it. We want people to come from outside of Staffordshire, be educated at Staffs or Keele Uni, and then decide they want to stay. And then the second part is, yes, you're absolutely right, we need to work together in partnership with business, with local authorities, with the unis, and come together with a message that Staffordshire is the best place to be in business and work in a business. It's a great place to put down your roots. It's a great place to be a graduate, to then progress, to start a family potentially, whatever your life choices may be. But this is the place to do it. So, yeah. And
I'm just going to turn it again and flip it to the other side. Now, challenges in business. What are you seeing now, and what can you see? Obviously, we've talked about 2025, saying it's going to be even better than 2024, and businesses, they're going to flourish and everything and grow even more. But what are the challenges that are out there at the moment? Is it the government change? Is it something else? Is it Brexit still? Or
no, I think we've got a really strong international trade team. So if anybody listening has got an issue post-Brexit, I would say that we can help you overcome that. Just reach out to me. The two issues at the moment that come at the foremost are skills, recruiting highly skilled people. We've kind of touched upon that. The other one is we've got growing businesses with a lack of land. So it's not planning is an issue, but it is now redeveloping brownfield. We sit on, as I drive into Stoke every morning, quite a lot of brownfield that we need to unlock, redevelop. We need to protect our greenfield. There's now something called greyfield. I don't know if you're aware of that, but you can look that up later. But we're definitely challenging government, locally and nationally, to unlock those brownfield sites, because what businesses are screaming out for is, Chris, I've set up a business, I've got 4 staff, I'm doing well, but I now need to grow into a 10-man light industrial medium-sized unit, and there's just simply not enough on the market. And then obviously we've really developed a true area with the distribution sheds and logistics, but obviously there's a demand. We're in the middle of the country and there's more. What we don't want to do is ruin our beautiful green, that everything I praise Staffordshire for, but let's look at those ugly, unused, dilapidated sites and bring them back to life.
And just going on as well, Chris, your background as well, and dealing with strategy and things like that, I'm just going to ask you if a business out there is thinking of whether it's growing or whether, again, they want new premises and all of that. From your experience, not necessarily so much what the Chamber can do, but from what your experience has been and what you've seen over the years, or have you got any tips or anything or that you could share for a business who hasn't got a clue where to turn or who to speak to or which direction to go in? Say they've only got 2 staff, 3 staff, but they really want to grow and they can see the opportunities and they're getting busier and busier and busier. What are the next steps? Where do you go? Where do you turn? That's
a brilliant growing pain to have if you're a 2-man successful business and you're really busy. But you've got not to be afraid to reach out and access what's on the doorstep. There are government funds, that UK SPF, which will expire in March, but from the 1st of April there will be new direct grants to intervene and help, and it is about scale up and growth. There are chambers of commerce. I am biased, but we run 17 public funded contracts covering Staffordshire that can help from from things from skills, innovation, even how to stop your business being a victim of business crime.
Yeah.
The scale, but it is about being brave enough to say, and I know a business owner's probably there 12, 14 hours a day, head down, focusing on the business, but it's take a step, take a breath, step back from the business, even if it's for an hour, and just look around at what's there, because there is help. There are different partners. Universities have grants, your local authority, your growth hub, the business helpline, the chamber, the FSB, the IOD. I could go on and on and on about support partners that are all there to make a difference and help.
Yeah.
But they can only reach the people that they know. So you've got to be brave enough to put your hand up saying, I'm doing really well, but I want a bit of help. And I promise that if nothing else, the chamber will be there to help you and take you on that journey and help you get to the next step.
Okay, and one more question I'm going to ask you, maybe two, but one in particular. How can our local communities, how can they make a difference to businesses, independent businesses, no matter what sector or anything like that? How can our local residents help to support?
Well, our residents, our community groups are all just important as one another. We're all cogs in the same wheel. It is about working together. We sit on, we sit on a number of partnerships where chambers, community groups, voluntary sector, VAST, etc. We come together and we say, the chamber can't do it on its own. Business can't do it. Residents can't do it by themselves. It's about collaboration, partnership. I think Staffordshire is actually a county of partnership working. I don't think there is any resistance to saying let's work together. I think if we try and do it by ourselves, we'd be too disparate. We are a collection of market towns and a city across the county. I think we need to pull together as residents, business, as well, pull together with one voice. Shout about how brilliant Staffordshire is, which will raise aspiration, which will keep our talent, which will then encourage inward investment, allow Staffordshire to go even more global than it already is, and just take Staffordshire to the next level.
Chris, thank you so much. Thank you for coming here on Business Spotlight. It's been an absolute delight. Will you come back?
I will come back whenever you would like. I've really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Good. There you go. That's Chris Plant, Deputy Chief Exec of Staffordshire Chambers of Commerce, here on Business Spotlight with me, Sonya Farrell.
Business Spotlight, shining a light on our local business community. Brought to you by Cross Rhythms and Baba Baboon.